this is for the parents. I want you guys to know what I tell moms and dads. All right, here's, I think, is a pretty cool study. This was brand new. This is November 2012, not even a year old. The question in the green bars was, did parents who said they'd done this talk to their child about risks, benefits of being online and rules and expectations? That's green. And then so I'm just going to highlight it because it's too important. Of the parents, 93% that they said talked to their kids about internet safety. And then when they talked to the kids, only 61% said that parents talked to them. So I just have a very simple question. Who's lying? Well, I believe this. I believe neither one is lying. Here's why. How many of you believe that you can learn something the first time you hear it? Okay, so now all the math teachers that are in the room that can see these hands are going up, just note which ones only need to be told one time how to do that equation. No, the answer to that is that we need to be told in a variety of different ways for it to really, really sink in. Because otherwise you'd be done with math in September, and then you can move on to social studies in October, and you'll be done by Christmas. But it doesn't work that way. We need to be taught over and over and over again. So I think what happened was I think the parents said to their kid, I have these expectations, this is what I expect you to do. And I think the kids, being teenagers, didn't hear it all. It's no different than when my wife sends me to the grocery store and says, I want you to pick up this, 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 and this. And I get to the grocery store and I call home and I say, what was that last thing you wanted me to get? It's the amount of information that we're able to retain and hear and process. So for the parents in the room, I ask that you talk to your kids a lot about this issue. I can remember my daughter saying to me, Dad, I'm not going to get stolen off the internet. And I said, I know. That's why I keep talking to you about this stuff. We have to keep going. So, to the parents. This was a card that I used to hand out when I ran the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force for Missouri. And it went to parents, and it was teach kids at a young age the rules of the technology superhighway. The reason I used the analogy of the superhighway was it sounded pretty good, the technology superhighway. That was what the internet was. But there's another reason. All right, to the parents in the room, I have a question. Anybody ever taught their child to drive? Okay, so I see a bunch of hands up there. My sympathy to you all. I know how difficult it is, but here are 3 things that every parent that ever taught their child to drive has done. The first thing is that they made sure that they could make the vehicle go forward, backward, left, and right. How to make the vehicle go, right? And you typically didn't start out on an interstate. But then you taught them the rules of the road, what those signs meant, what those stripes on the roadway meant. But the most important thing that a parent has done before they gave their child the keys to their car to be able to drive and go wherever they choose to go, because, we can stand at the front window and watch you drive out of the driveway and go the direction that you're supposed to go, but there's nothing that's going to keep you from doubling back. We trusted you. We put our car keys in your hand and said, take our vehicle and go where you told us you were going to go, and we trusted you. We gave you this great responsibility. But before we did that, we did one very important thing, is that we said to you what our expectations were. And I can tell you, we didn't say it just once. We said it many times. what we expected you to do when you were driving our car. Now, to the parents in the room, I just gave you Internet Safety 101. I taught you that you do exactly the same thing with this technology that you've done with the car. Now, you're going to teach your kid how to manage it, how to make it go. Now, many times your kid's going to teach you, but you've got to be part of this process. You're going to teach them the rules of the road. And then you're going to give them your expectations. You're going to tell your child that you trust them, that you're going to allow them to have access to this great tool of technology. But you expect certain things. Just like you expect when they drive your car that they're going to do certain things. That's Internet safety.